Good morning and aloha. Welcome to Lucy's Paradise Podcast. Today we have Handsome Harold on. And thank you so much, Harold, for coming on. Let me know a little bit about you and how we know each other.
Well, thanks for having me this morning, Lucy. We met in high school, right, on the Central Side. I'm from Mililani.
Millville.
Millville. You're from Lelehua.
Yeah, but I went to Mililani for 2 years.
Yeah,
and...
we went to high school together, and then we did some time at LCC, some theater stuff.
Yeah.
And then we bonded over. You served in the military for a little bit. I was in for a little bit. And then,
so I've known you for a good portion of time now.
Yeah, most of my life. Yeah, at least half of my life. Yeah. Right now I am a comedian, and I'm here to promote my material that I just recorded recently.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I'm super excited to get into that. The first thing I wanted to ask you is about your stage name, Handsome Harold. Where did that come from?
Handsome Harold. So I used to bartend.
I mean, it's not like a surprise.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask about it.
It was inspired by a popular game series a long time ago called Borderlands. Actually, they're coming out with a movie now with Kevin Hart starring in it. I guess I'm doing a plug with Kevin Hart. Imagine that. But yeah, there's the main antagonist is a guy named Handsome Jack, who's a complete psychopath, complete dickhead, and he's got a really disfigured face and wears a mask over it, and he's very charismatic, and he has all the cool lines. And when I started doing comedy, I wanted a persona to emulate on stage, which is to be a very confident person, so kind of like a fake it till you make it thing.
Right.
And I just rolled with it. I also like the alliteration. Handsome Harold kind of just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Tell me about like your military career and like kind of what you're doing right now besides the comedy.
My military career. So I enlisted 2007 as a reservist. So I was 17, and then I spent 6 years as enlisted. I was civil affairs. That's like humanitarian assistance.
Okay.
If you ever seen the movie Three Kings, not what George Clooney was doing as the SF dude, but like the civilian guys.
Yeah.
Throwing beanie babies at civilians and whatnot. So it's humanitarian assistance. And then I got my commission as an officer after I got a degree in theater, of all degrees.
So you don't need a degree in anything related to the military to be an officer in the military.
You don't.
Fun fact.
Fun fact, the difference between a private and a second lieutenant is a degree, and in this case, a theater degree. I would commission into the infantry branch, and I would be with the 100th Battalion for almost 10 years. So I have 17 years, 12 years as a reservist, 5 years active federal service, and that's where I am today.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool because if we ever go anywhere, you can be in the foxhole making jokes and entertaining.
Yeah. Having the one joker in the platoon always helps out. But,
so what got you into comedy?
So actually, when I was at LCC working on my my prerequisites, you had to take an elective, and I got into theater through that way. And I've been playing guitar Beach Boy chords since I was like in middle school. So between rehearsals, I would just noodle around on my guitar, and I made someone laugh just making up some lyrics on the fly.
Yeah, being funny, yeah.
Yeah, and then I wrote a couple of goofy songs, and it just stuck with me. So I've been doing comedy since about 18. Yeah.
Wow.
So I recorded an album in 2015, and then I called it quits until COVID came around, and I came back into it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wondered because I remember going to the Mililani graduation, and you were performing. I'm trying to think of the song that you performed.
Was it Basket Case? Is Green Day? No, Good Riddance. Good Riddance.
Yeah, it was Green Day, but it was great. And I was like, oh my God, that's Harold. And then it was epic. And I remember that. And then I guess like throughout the years, I always knew you as like the person who did like the comedy stuff, which is cool. On my last podcast, I talked about how Grant asked me what I wanted to be like when I was a kid, and I guess when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a comedian.
You should come down. Yeah,
I don't know why.
We have open mics all the time throughout the week. I work with Jose Dynamite. He runs Comedy U. Pepper Lamb. He runs Stand Up Honolulu. Who just recently moved to the old Mooses at the Poo Poo House. So they have open mics all the time, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at Ann O'Brien's. I believe with Pepper's crew, they do it at their new Poo Poo House on Sundays. So
and it's just like comedy stuff.
You just come in with 3 solid minutes, and then the fun thing with open mics, right, is that a lot of comedians and a lot of audience members think that's like where they're trying to like bring out their best. Where it's actually that's where you workshop. So
right.
It's super common for guys like Bomb because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to iron out your jokes and flesh them out a little bit.
Yeah. I'll come and bomb anytime.
Trust me, there's a lot of those, including myself. My comedy style is a little bit more on the musical side. So I have a set list that I play with a bunch of songs, and in between I'll riff with the audience, try to do my crowd work. That's becoming really popular lately with crowd work.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like, what is that?
Matt Rife?
Matt Rife, dude. I have tickets to his show coming up.
Yeah,
Are you going to that?
No, I'm not. I'm not particularly a fan of Matt Rife. I think he's very funny. But I know his demographic.
I'm more just curious.
Yeah, I think his crowd work is great. It's phenomenal. I just I watched his recent special and I thought, okay, cool. But
Who's your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian, by hands down, Bill Burr.
Okay.
Bill Burr.
Awesome.
And then before that, I'd say George Carlin and Dave Chappelle from like 2008 to like 2018. That sweet spot. Dave Chappelle now I appreciate his work as well, but he's now transcended into more like the philosopher mindset. So the last show I saw, last show I saw with Dave Chappelle felt like more like a TED Talk than a comedy show, which is fun. It's enlightening.
I don't know if I saw his most recent.
Yeah. He had like I think he had like 3 on Netflix. He just like cashed out like $8 million checks for each special. I'm like, that's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's super funny though. Okay, yeah, he's one of my favorites for sure. God, these lights are so bright. If you guys haven't noticed, we changed up the set a little bit. I did want to shout out Windward Community College for being able to host the podcast now, which is nice because we were shooting it prior in my apartment, and it was really annoying when these guys would come by and blow leaves all around. And I'm like, bro, like the leaf's not going anywhere, man. But he was just blowing the leaves everywhere, and it was, I think they're just trying to like make their paychecks, and I understand, but it was really annoying. And
I wasn't gonna say anything about the lights, but now that you mentioned, I just solar
like,
flare.
Every like 3 minutes, I'm like, ugh.
I'm just gonna tune it out.
I gotta like wear glasses next time or something.
Yeah.
But no, so we have a new set, and so Harold is the guinea pig for this first podcast being in the new space, and how do you like it? What do you think?
I don't know if you guys noticed, it's a little asymmetrical here, but my
don't give away all the
secrets. I'm very disoriented right now.
Disoriented.
Which way what do I do with my hands?
I'm just trying not to fall off this chair, so we're making it work.
I feel like a Filipino Smeagol right now because my posture. I'm just like because I got short legs too, so I'm just like my precious. Got this little robot dick in my face.
It's perfect. So tell me about your new single. What inspired it?
My new single is called "What's My Age Again." It's a parody cover of Blink-182's famous song "What's My Age Again" from the Enema of the State album.
Okay.
It was inspired by, and this is how I write all my songs. I'll just be shower singing or singing in my car.
Nice.
And it was right after the band got back together, go on tour, because I think Mark Hoppus had cancer. They all reunited with the original band members, Tom DeLonge, Travis Barker. And they were playing "What's My Age Again" live, and for whatever reason, because they're much older now,
right.
I thought it'd be funny. Man, would it be hilarious if like they updated the lyrics? I'm 34 now, and so at the time I was like, nobody likes you when you're 33, and that line just stuck with me. And eventually I just sat down, wrote a bunch of lyrics on a cocktail napkin, and I just put it out in the universe. And eventually we actually recorded it here at WCC.
Nice.
So you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, any other music streaming platform. If you remember the album art with Janine, the porn star, she's like wearing the blue glove.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my team, and I was like, okay, so let's redo that. So do we get a girl to do like a modern take on it? And my team was like, nah, just do it yourself, bro. And I'm like, okay, sure. So
it's you in that
it's
picture?
Me. Yeah. So if you look it up on Spotify,
God.
That's me.
I thought it was the same cover art, and I was like, how did you get like the rights to do that?
I did not.
And then I didn't think about that until just now.
Yeah. So you can take a look. It's me in drag. I actually reached out to Miss.
It's basically you on the weekends.
Yeah, pretty much. I actually, I haven't done drag in forever, and half of drag, and this is just a very rudimentary, amateurish like take on it, is gluing your eyebrows. You just fucking take a glue stick and you do this for like fucking hour. The makeup took maybe like 2.5 hours.
Gluing your eyebrows? What do you mean?
So
why are you gluing them?
So you glue them back to smooth them out. And,
okay.
I feel like I'm gonna piss off a million queens because I'm like butchering their craft. But you glue back your eyebrows.
Yeah, there's probably a whole makeup tutorial on like
whole
what all the real terminology is.
Oh yeah, and so when I studied drag in college, that was my last assignment before I graduated. We sat down, and my mentor, my drag mama, Sammy Acuna, or Coco Chandelier, when she's on stage, she would tell me, okay, you got to glue your eyebrows back because I have these bushy ass Chinese Filipino eyebrows, right? And so you glue them back, and then once they're flattened, then you can put the makeup on, and you can do whatever you want. Sky's the limit. It's like you're making a palette for your face by gluing them back.
Okay. That makes sense.
For this specific photo, my photographer and makeup artist is Dan Paul. Their handle is Candy Shell. So they perform at Hula's.
Awesome.
And so I got lucky. I just
they do the drag shows over there.
Yeah. So he did the photos. He did the editing. He did the makeup. Excuse me. It was a lot of fun, and I knew it was great because I showed my my buddy Blaine. He's the owner of Osoyami, and I tell him, hey man, we did the album art for it, and he's like, oh, who's the girl, dude? And I was like, oh, it's me, dude. You want to suck my dick? Ah, got you. That's me. So
that's funny.
I didn't know you could paint on chi-chis. So when you take a look at it,
you can paint them on.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild. It's called an optical illusion, right? So you basically make contour lines to exaggerate your chesticles, right? And then from there, Dan Paul.
Yeah, contouring.
Contouring is it's the Matrix for your tits. It just bends like reality.
It makes like every woman look like totally different nowadays.
As a dude,
like
I was like,
thing. That's crazy. Yeah. That's funny.
So they gave me a bra, they stuffed it, and so
I'm learning about drag from Handsome Harold.
You gotta try it once you're alive. Bio drag. I think that's the thing. Bio drag when a gal.
I don't know. I've never done it. I don't think.
I recommend for everyone. It's very, when you do comedy in high heels.
I just feel like it's just so much makeup.
It is.
I'm fine singing, it's just the makeup part and but it would be fun. I mean, I did a lot of stuff in theater, so.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I think we could totally do like a dynamic duo drag.
That'd be hilarious.
Show.
Yeah,
a lot of lip syncs.
We could do we could both play guitar and sing and take turns
I've always wanted to do.
Now we're gonna have a drag guitar duo.
Yeah.
See what we're creating.
I want to do Grease, but I be Sandy and then you be Danny Zuko.
That would be awesome. I actually had a Halloween costume party in LA one time for one of my birthdays, and me and my friends all dressed up as the T-Birds.
The T-Birds?
Yeah, it was epic.
We had this one guy at this show. I God bless him. I forgot his name, but he shows up with one of our favorite audience members. His name is Chanel. You ever seen the movie Stand By Me?
Yeah.
With all the little kids. You want to see a dead body? This dude decided. So he looks like he was going for the T-Bird, right? But he's got these Coke bottle glasses. He's got the slick back hair with the Dapper Dan, and he's got the leather. And I love grilling him in the audience. Like, this guy looks like he saw Grease once. He's like, that's me. But you're actually emulating Stand By Me with the dude with the fucking slim, the glasses and poking dead bodies with a stick and shit. So
that's funny.
Yeah, I can't talk shit. I'm wearing a napkin. You like that?
I know. I thought you came in drag. I didn't even notice. I didn't notice that you weren't in drag.
I forgot my heels. Apparently, skinny jeans are out. It's no longer popular.
It's not cool anymore. What?
It's not cool anymore. I gotta.
Our generation's so behind. Yeah, we need to have a Finsta and all this.
What
stuff.
Is a Finsta? It's like a fidget spinner.
No. Okay. A fidget spinner.
What's a
Finsta? You know what Instagram is?
Yes.
So an Insta is your Instagram. A Finsta is a fake Instagram.
Okay.
That the generations after us, so they don't only have a real Instagram, but they have a fake one.
So they're catfishing each other? Is that?
I guess it's to protect themselves. They're smarter about protecting themselves on the internet than we were.
Okay.
We were like, oh, cool, Facebook, first name, last name. They don't do that.
Okay,
they're like, Facebook, fake name. That's their automatic. And I'm like, what
that makes
the heck?
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I didn't. My cousin was explaining it to me. She's like, oh, add my Finsta. I'm like, what?
Okay,
and
so
my
fake Insta.
Fake Instagram. My cousin has 2 Instagrams, and I'm like, wait, what? So one's her real life, and one's what I can show my family. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. You guys are nuts.
One's twerking, the other one's like, all right, this is me and Sunday. All right, doing everything absolutely legal. Yeah, no, I
interesting. I was like, what? But yeah, I'm learning all the millennial shit.
Well, we're millennials
technically, but I feel like we're.
It's what was it? 1986 to 2000. Sorry, 1986
we're technically
to 1996.
millennials. So wait, what is the one after us? Gen Z.
So it goes millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. I don't know if
Gen Alpha. I doubt that.
Wow.
No one's a Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha, and then I don't know what they're gonna call it. If they call them Beta, you are just setting them up for failure. Like, damn it, what are they calling them?
Gen Z, yeah. So I have a lot of Gen Zers that I know. Yeah. So they're teaching me stuff.
So I think 96 to 2010 are Gen Zers. So I think the Gen Z generation is great.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
so smart.
I feel like we're like the older siblings that are just saying, "Hey man, like we had it rough, but we want to like propel you forward." Versus like
Definitely
the generation before, it's always like kind of crab bucket. Like, I got mine, fuck you guys, and enjoy not having Social Security when you're old. But yeah, I get the only thing I feel bad for Gen Z is that because they have so much exposure to social media, like, I can't imagine like what my life would be if we were in high school and you had TikTok and Instagram,
everything was on the internet.
Everyone had
podcasts.
Gosh.
Like,
just
losers, not freaking nerds. No, but what's funny, is like I'm like, dang, you can't even like. You can't even get bullied like in the old way that you could get bullied anymore. Like,
just take my lunch money, dude. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Yeah. I think
no one plays outside anymore. They
don't say that. They play outside.
They get on their Discord communities.
They're dancing. They're having a good time. At least they're dancing and like
they don't play outside. They make TikToks. Fit. That's how they play outside.
Yeah, we would just play with sticks and kickball. Okay, now we sound
like. Well, no, we would literally play cops and robbers or like.
I've never played cops and robbers.
You never played that or Army?
Were you a skate kid in Milani or
yeah?
Okay.
I skated too.
We were street skaters. I remember that one time you took me surfing. I absolutely just like fucking got destroyed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm the worst Hawaiian ever.
Hawaiian.
Yeah, because we grew up in Central. The bus ride from Milani out to North Shore was 2 hours if you didn't have a car. So we were like, all right, I can get chicks by playing guitar and skateboarding, so I'm gonna do that instead. Didn't learn how to surf.
Yeah. What chicks did you get here?
Zero.
It
doesn't work.
There's like no chicks in Milani anyway.
They're all. What do you call? I heard this expression the other day. Tanaka Maoli. You have Kanaka Maoli. So it's the local Japanese guy who gets all the tribal tattoos and speaks super moke. He's like, I stay like 3% high and malama da. I was like, do you speak Olelo? Nah, well, just I can do the haka. I learned them on YouTube, but whatever.
I feel like if you live here long enough, you end up, you're pretty much a local.
Yeah.
I've said that before too on the podcast. Like, it just depends on, well, like us, like we've been here our whole lives. And
I'm like a weird animal in that, like, I don't sound like I'm local, right? My dad used to hit me whenever I'd speak pidgin.
Yeah, my mom did this. She would do the same thing. Like,
we sound like we're from Cali, so.
Yeah, they didn't like that. They were like, no, you have to speak well.
Yeah. I went home. I
didn't realize your parents did that too.
It was one. Well, because my dad was third generation Chinese, right? So my granddad, he was actually in the Army Air Corps, and then my dad joined the Navy, right? And both of them said like, you got to get a good job. So my grandpa spoke like super hardcore pidgin.
Is that why you like enlisted?
No, I enlisted for money.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Just like anybody else. I'm too stupid to like pay for college. And then Uncle Sam, it went down the line. The Marine Corps was like, "You want to be the best?" And I was like, "You guys are hardcore. I'm
scared.
Pussy. I'm a pussy. I'll just be honest." And Army's like, "Hey, pussy, you want $35,000?" I'm like, "That sounds kind of cool, sure."
Nice. Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What's going on with You want to get into that?
Yeah, we can get into that. So I've been in for 17 years, 12 years reserve, 5 years active. I'm being separated now. It's pending the appeal process right now, but they're on the way. They made a recommendation for me to be separated from the Army because of my comedy. I made a bad choice by performing stand-up comedy for my unit in uniform. I covered Tenacious D, and it did not sit well with one audience member. So
I'm wondering though, like if you did the same thing and sang something else and made everyone laugh.
If I sang Kumbaya, I think I would have been retained, but because of the explicit lyrics of that specific song.
Yeah, because Jack Black and like that. Yeah, that song's pretty.
For the record,
vulgar.
So the song is called "Fuck Her Gently." In hindsight, was it the best choice to sing in front of a live audience? Probably not. The fun fact: I replaced the F word with "fun" to PG it down, but given context, I offended one person out of 400 people.
Right.
Which the other 399 knew it was a comedy act, and they were like, "Oh, let's take this as a comedy act."
Were they a Gen Zer? No.
I don't know. It was an anonymous complaint,
yeah.
Which led to an investigation. The investigator goes, "Oh, these lyrics are sexually explicit. You harass soldiers." So they recommended me for a general discharge. Wow. And the funny thing is like, not funny, but like it was my first infraction in the military in my entire Army career.
Wow.
And they're,
That's crazy.
It is an administrative punishment, which eventually led to my possible separation. So
where was this at?
This was at Pohakuloa training area on the Big Island.
Oh, so you were at PTA.
So we were at
this
PTA.
Is like private training. Okay.
Yeah, but it was
surprised.
a recreation event. I was in uniform. So
right.
You know, but in my perspective, well, one, you know, you're supposed to conduct yourself professionally at all times. So that was not the best call. I will say that. However, in hindsight, had I known that this would have been a career-ending move, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Maybe sang
for
Kumbaya,
sure.
or, you know, just the thong song and repeat. But fucking, you know, that's not the best choice.
So if you weren't in uniform, you think they probably wouldn't have an issue?
So that's a curious question.
Because there's also that argument that you're a soldier at all times.
Exactly, right?
So like, where is the line drawn?
The line is drawn where you go, you know, now if I go back in time in a time machine, I go, if you have to question it, do not do it.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're an infantry unit, which I was. Doesn't matter. All right. Just don't do it. All right. But I've learned from it. I'm moving on from it. If this is the end of my career, then that's fine.
You're like,
and it's opened up a bunch of doors. Like,
acceptance.
Here I am. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've just been trying to propel myself forward from there. I'm just waiting for my appeal process to go through. If they retain me, cool. If not, they kick me out, and then I'll see you in Taiwan. 2 years. So yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, just we're on the brink of war with the Chinese.
I'll see you in Taiwan.
Yeah. Like we're short. I think the numbers went up yesterday.
We have the worst retention rate.
The Marines and
I'm scared.
The Marines and the Space Force were the only ones to get their numbers in. I think the Marines by 2. They met their quota by 2. So, and the Space Force, they call them Guardians. So the Guardians, they met their quota. It was like 400 Guardians or something like that. Army was short a buttload. And so I was talking to a recruiter. He said, like, last year you had 200,000 service members get out, and we were only able to recruit 140,000. So I think recently Mazie Hirono just she threw in her vote saying, like, yeah, well, I approve of females, women being in the draft. So
what do you think about the draft?
I think it's a thing. I think it's necessary for any kind of military that's trying to maintain a foothold in the global theater to have a strong fighting force. And then given the tea leaves reading that says we're short 60,000 service members, it might be a little beneficial to at least have the preemptive steps to ensure that you have people in that fighting force.
Right.
That's not the answer everybody wants to hear because, well, to be fair, I think the draft's only for 18 to 25. So
yeah, I think they can adjust the ages there, but no, I was just curious. I don't really care either way. I think it would be interesting to see all the TikToks that come out on the battlefield.
Well, that's crazy because, like, you know, if you look at the Ukraine footage, we found out that the Russians were screwing themselves over because they were still using social media, and so it just takes one smart Ukrainian dude to be like, oh, I know where that is. Let me just Google map this shit.
Yeah,
and then they get a little fucking drone.
We actually did an exercise. I'm trying to think. I think we're in Kahuku. We were doing an exercise, and we were supposed to find the enemy. And one of my friends was on the other. She was in the other unit, which was the enemy, right? It was obviously training, but I found them immediately because I had her location on Snapchat. And I was like, I know where they are.
you gotta project your Finsta. You need your Russian Finsta.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, obviously, you know, that's not. We weren't like really in battle. It was just training, but it was funny. Me and her were laughing about it, but yeah, I don't know. That's really interesting. This whole drafting thing. I think.
I mean, I'm
interesting.
I'm optimistic. I hope that, you know, because I think like the dollar runs everything in the world. So you know, what's really good for business is war. What's really bad for business, mutual atomic destruction. So I don't know. I'm not a political science. I'm an idiot. I'm a knuckle dragger. So I just regurgitate whatever I read on Reddit. But I think it's within our best interest as a global society not to nuke each other. So, you know. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Just let AI take care of it. Just AI.
Oh God.
Yeah. Just let AI figure it out.
We'll print more money. We're fine.
Just print more money. Yeah.
I said that to my mom, and she about lost it. I was like, "It's a joke, Mom. It's a joke." But she was like, "What? No." I was like, "I'm kidding."
Yeah. I was like, all attendees.
You can't make those jokes. So my mom, she gets real serious about political things. I was like, Mom, I was kidding.
My mom was.
She'd be the one complaining at the comedy show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get one of those. You know, it's funny because I was in uniform yesterday. I'm such a shitbag. I was in uniform yesterday in Costco with my son. I just got off of work. I'm like, fuck. I barely see my son. Because I see him like 4 times out of the week. And so I have like a short window to see him. They're actually gonna move back to Japan next month. So his mother and I are co-parenting. So
okay.
We're doing all right. But either way, so we're at Costco, and I'm wearing my uniform, And I'm pushing him in the wagon. I like to get the big Costco wagon. He likes to, be dragged around and stuff like that. He's super cute. And so this lady goes, "Thank you for your service," like this typical like super thick accent. And my go-to, and take this as you will. Some people find it funny. Some people, I've heard one person get pissed off. She goes, "Thank you for your service." And I go, "Thank you for paying your taxes." And her mom, she lets out one of those like, like one of those knee slappers. Like, "I've never heard that." And I was like, "What?" I heard it from an old sergeant major, and he goes, "You thank them for their taxes because they're paying for your check." And I go, "You know what? Roger that. Absolutely." And then you just see her taking the information, like, do I be offended at that? Or do I? She's like, "You know what? Yeah, you're right. You can't thank me for my taxes." I'm like, "Thank you for your taxes." And she goes, All right.
Yeah, I'm about to spend it right now at the checkout. And buy this big ass thing of grapes or whatever you buy at Costco. I don't like Costco.
I love Costco, man.
My friend and I were talking about that on one of the podcasts, and she's like, "I used to work at Costco," and she gave us some tips.
What are the tips? What are the Costco tips?
I don't know, something about if it ends in a 7 or something, they're about to like run out of the item, so you want to buy it. I don't know. You have to
discontinue it if it ends in like a 7
or something like that. Yeah,
Wait, the price or like the coding of the item?
The actual item.
Oh,
like they're not gonna sell it anymore.
Okay, that's actually good.
That's great advice.
You know what? This is gonna sound super lame. I'm trying to cut down my booze intake, so I've been trying to substitute that with like soda water.
Your booze intake.
Yeah, I drink a lot, so Army anyhow. But I'm trying to substitute my booze with like soda water, either through Liquid Death or LaCroix. How do you pronounce it? LaCroix?
Yeah.
And it's like a coin toss at Costco because every now and then they have like these cool tropical flavors, and then they have bath water. So yesterday I bought a rack and I was like, all right, $8 for like 20 cans, fucking deal. Pick it up. Cool. Blackberry passionate mango. Take a sip. This tastes like fucking bubble dish detergent shit. It's gross.
It's like bubble bath water.
Yeah, so maybe if it has a 7, I don't know. If you make sure that all the tropical shit is
I don't know.
stocked.
You're gonna see the Heinekens with a 7. You're gonna be like, I gotta get all of them.
It's a sign. There's no more
It's a
Heineken.
sign. Like, no, that's
Green
not
bottles.
what it's for, Harold. What are you doing?
Did I ever tell you that the acronym for Heineken?
Are you thinking Budweiser?
No, Heineken.
No.
Okay, so I heard this. This is not even a joke. When
It's not even a joke.
When my
It sounds
brother
like it's about
introduced
to be
me
a
to
joke.
the wonderful world of drinking when I was underage, I
Okay.
met this one Samoan dude, and he was fucking wasted. And he goes, I'm going to butcher the accent because I don't speak Pidgin. He goes, "My bottle, do you know what Heineken stands for?" I was like, "Heineken, what?" And he's like, "Heineken. It's one acronym." And I was like, "Oh, for real?" What
The
is
fact
it?
that he knew the word acronym,
Yeah.
I'm baffled.
He was educated, this guy. And he
He's
was
so
like,
educated.
Super akamai. He goes, "Heineken stands for Ho. Even I never even know, even now." I was like, "What?" He's like, "What's your birthday?" I'm like, "My birthday is July 2nd. Ho, even I never even know, even now your birthday stay July 2nd. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking nuts."
That's nuts.
That's a fuck. I don't know. If you use it at any party,
I love that.
That's a conversation starter. You give it a try. Do you remember it?
No, but it's good. It's way too early. I need like 3 more energy drinks to be awake.
Yeah. Green bottles.
I don't drink anymore, so
You don't? How long have you been dry?
since what, March? March?
That's really good.
Yeah. I just don't I have no interest in it anymore.
That's good. I was wondering, your skin is like immaculate. It's
It's always been, even
Yeah.
if I was it's a Filipino thing.
Luscious Lucy.
Thank you. That'll be my drag name. I can't
Luscious
wait.
Lucy?
I don't know.
Man,
Or whatever it's called, yeah.
just the Dominator. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you because we've talked about a little bit about your song and stuff, and I'm just curious your thoughts on some of the Hawaii issues going on. If you wanna get into that,
Which Hawaii issues did you want to? We're
what do you-
taking a curve.
yeah, a little bit of a curve.
Yeah.
Like the haiku stairs. I don't know if you have any opinion on that.
I think
Just curious. I'm always curious about what people think that lived here and grew up here.
I've done the haiku stairs at least 2 or 3 times. I know I've never taken the back route. Though
okay.
I did the one where you have to walk through the residential area and then you got to
You just go up the stairs.
You go up the stairs and you slip past the security guard. I think when I went the last time it was like 2012, and they had the rule like as long as you get in before
A certain
4:30,
time, right?
and then
Okay.
you're good. So I could see how in a residential area it might be frustrating where you have a huge influx of like tourists going through.
Right.
your
Oh
property.
yeah.
But I don't have a really educated opinion on the fact because I don't know how much it costs to maintain it and how much taxpayers' money would be to maintain it. But if someone could draw this out for me and say, no, if we have this much amount of money to maintain it and make it safer and have an accessible route, maybe we could have a really cool tourist spot that promotes hiking?
That's kind of the argument right now. So the Friends of Haiku Stairs have developed a plan that would actually make the stairs money and be used to be able to like maintain it.
Yeah.
That the city has basically shut down, but they won't give a reason kind of why they want to do that. Instead, they want to take all these millions of dollars and you spend that money taking the stairs down completely.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is actually going to prevent people from doing the hike, even if there's no stairs.
Yeah, we also still smoke pot out here. You know, I mean, maybe not me and you, but yeah, because I believe everything I read on Reddit. Don't. But I guess like someone was saying that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting to see the different perspectives and how they're talking about it. So I don't know. I just like to discuss.
I think it's a great hike, and you know, if I was part of the state government and you go, hey, this is a solid plan and it makes sense, I'm like, okay, let's implement it. And then if you have like that's the thing I'm worried about though, right? Because like one, as much as I love physical fitness, the logistics of getting people out when you have an emergency. So like, I know you know, I'm not sure it's the National Guard or the fire department who has to fly out through a medevac whenever some dipshit like blows up on Cocoa Head Trail, right? They got to fly him in. That's like a $40,000 freaking helicopter ride.
Right,
Don't quote
right.
me on that. I don't know where those numbers came from, but either way.
Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit. Yeah, believe everything.
It's true. We multiplied by 20.
If you can just show me the facts saying, hey, yeah, like this is a healthy thing to do. We can sustain it with taxpayers' money. I'm all for it because it's a beautiful hike. Right?
Yeah, it is beautiful.
I read
you have
that,
pictures of yourself up there?
Or? I have one. It's, you know how you have that one little mini peak before the second plateau?
Yeah,
I was like, I think I was 24 before my brain was fully developed. Like, this would be a great selfie opportunity. So.
Yeah, you're like halfway, like falling off the mountain.
Yeah, there's always one dude who does that route, and he's carrying a fucking boombox. I think it's the same guy. The same guy who's on the subway, not the subway, the bus or the rail.
Carries a boombox.
You ever go hiking? There's always one local dude who carries a boombox, and they're blasting their fucking music the whole fucking.
I've never seen them carrying a boombox like.
Or it's in their backpack, or you know, like the.
Like a Bluetooth. Yeah, I've definitely seen that for sure.
Always one dude, always a rager. I'm like,
and it's Hawaiian music, yeah. Or
no,
like
it varies. Sometimes it could be EDM, sometimes it can be local, but like unless you're a good DJ, I don't want to listen to your fucking music. I hate
you're a good dudes. DJ, which you aren't.
You aren't. Reddit says so.
You ruined my hike.
I'm just, you know, like
that's hilarious.
I hate it if I'm on public transportation and like I can hear someone like having like a conversation. Okay, not a conversation, but like, you know, on speakerphone or like blasting their music.
Yeah. Well, it's rude.
I'm like that, you know, because the Japanese in me is like, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. I just want to keep to myself.
Well, it is. I mean, I think. Yeah, socially, it is more rude. I mean, I was raised that's what headphones were freaking invented for. Is like when you're in a public space like that, that's when it's appropriate to have headphones. Or, I mean, a hike, I think they're you know, they use the excuse that, it's all open.
Yeah.
But if there's so many other people on the hike, at that point, I would just either like make it low enough where only you and whoever can hear it, or use headphones, but... That's a considerate person.
I only agree if you're just blasting the thong song on repeat.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we're fine.
If it was Tenacious D, you wouldn't have cared. You'd have been like, I love this guy. He was playing Taylor Swift and you weren't into it. That's what it was.
I love Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I'm a huge Swiftie fan.
I love Taylor Swift.
She's
I love her too.
She's great. I like, what's that one song? You've got that something, the shirt, and then out of style. There.
Yeah.
I love 80s synthwave shit. Like some Miami Vice stuff where you're riding with the top down, you know. So that's the only Taylor Swift song.
I love her cult.
You love her cult? You know what's funny? I think it's crazy because she's a billionaire now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's when you have God money. Now you're in like a higher echelon for like political influence. We're gonna have somewhere in the history books. I don't know if it's tinfoil hat because I read it on Reddit, but fucking if you have one person with a whole army of Swifties that can swing an election. And that's where some conspiracy theorists went down the rabbit hole. Like the power play of her dating Travis Kelce, right, for Kansas City. Now you have a demographic because I don't know if you know this, but she denounced Trump, I think like a year ago. And it's right before, I think right around the time she got with Travis Kelce. So by doing that, you kneecap your demographic of like your Bible Belt listeners. Like, all right, well, the Republican listeners, I don't like Taylor Swift anymore. That's fine. I'm going to snag Travis fucking Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now I lost one demographic. I got fucking football on my side. And now you got a bunch of like Swifties watching the NFL. And
yeah, they don't even.
It's wild. It's great. So now you have like all the political influence. You can now if you notice, you're going, you got to vote. Which for whatever reason, I don't know, some political parties don't like it when you tell people to vote, which is undemocratic to me, but whatever.
Is it rigged anyway?
Democracy. It's always rigged.
Who knows?
It's all rigged. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Left, right goes left, right, blue, red, retarded, still retarded. Can you say retarded? Retarded. Either way, but fucking. It's just like, oh god, we're getting canceled. Fuck. We just moved. We're getting canceled.
Great.
Don't say the R
My
word.
podcast is canceled.
All right.
Yeah.
Can we?
It's okay. I think
cut
aren't you supposed to get canceled a couple times before you're like real?
I already got canceled. I literally got canceled for doing comedy. So that's it.
Yeah, I feel like the military cancels. You can't be a free thinker and be in the military. And you know you have to just be a puppet and be able to be controlled and not have opinions.
Somewhere there's an officer that is like tearing his hair out. I heard one,
It's okay.
When I went to Captain's Career Course, we had this long Army philosophical debate, and they go, innovation is what makes the best leaders. So your ability to think out of the box and change the way. And I was like, I thought uniformity is what we're trying to do here. I'm not supposed to be an individual. And they're like,
Yeah.
stop thinking. I'm like, wait, am I being innovative? Am I not? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite lesson for a good officer from Art of War is good soldiers need sleep. Sun Tzu is all like, you gotta sleep. Can't fight without a full tummy and being well rested.
Yeah, I mean that's just basics.
Yeah.
Taking care.
Tell that to China. I'm taking a nap.
My need to preserve my mental health is why I left the military.
Yeah.
I foresaw the path I was on, and I just told myself, I was like, I don't think this is worth my mental health. And so I because I thought I was gonna do 20 years for sure. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do 20 years. I'm good. And I enjoyed my job. I mean, I loved doing what I did, but it wasn't worth it, you know?
Yeah.
The lack of balance, there's just such an offset, such a lack of balance. And there were some days where I was like, I'm either going to hurt somebody else or hurt myself.
Yeah.
And which I've never, ever been in a state where I ever thought that. And I was like, yeah, that right there is an indicator that I need to change paths.
At least you have the cognizance to make that identification, right?
Oh yeah.
Have you at
sure.
all used have you ever filed for like VA disability for anything like that or?
Yeah. I have 60% disability right now, and then I'm fighting it to get more because my anxiety was just a huge thing. I don't even think I realized how much anxiety I had. I was just so good at like coping in different ways, being athletic and having different various outlets like music and things like that I think I was dealing with it the whole time and didn't even realize.
I think I have 3 different behavioral health assessors. So one's a psychiatrist, one's a psychologist, one is a substance abuse coordinator. So that's why I'm trying to taper off the booze. And they all said the same thing. They said, all right, let's open up the hood. Let's take a look at this guy here. All the shit you're doing, don't do that. Like all this, all right, block it out, work out, shoot things, hit things, booze. Don't do that.
But with guys, it's different too because I think, and I talked about this kind of on my last podcast, is that it's not it is now as times are getting different, right? Like mental health and all of that is like trendy now. Like now it's like everyone's like, yeah, talk about your feelings and stuff, which to an extent I feel like that's great. But I feel like and I don't know how like with you growing up was for you in terms of like expressing yourself, but I feel like in some way society has kind of made men feel like they can't talk about how they feel.
I think based on what you said, for me, it sounds a little contradictory in that we're saying that behavioral health is trending, while at the same time we're stopping men from like.
Well, I think it's trending now.
Yes.
I think it's trending now. I think in the past or recent past, I feel like not so much like maybe like how things are right now. Like my nephew, for example. Like I know he is being raised and like being told that like expressing how you feel is okay and stuff like that. But I feel like maybe like I had my last guest, Aaron, he was talking about how his dad was kind of like suck it up, like type dude, you know what I mean? And we kind of talked about that and talked about like and how he's raising his son now is just different kind of from how he was raised.
I think we're in a fortunate time where I'm seeing a unit of progression in things like technology, advancements in healthcare. I think crime is at an all-time low. We're actually, this is what Reddit says, so I don't know, you can take it with a grain of salt. We're in the most peaceful time in the modern world right now. And the fact that we have a perspective that says that behavioral health is becoming trendy, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
For me, the way I look at behavioral health, it's kind of like, 50 years ago, if you had like a house painted with lead, you go, all right, cool. And then 50 years later, you go, that's dumb. Don't do that. I feel like the near future, we're going to go, okay, all these things that we're doing, like how you and I would just like hold things in, or we'd work out or shoot things. We have now, it's okay to not do those things. It's a good, all right, cool. Talk me through this. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And what I learned a lot with, I've only been in for like 17 years, but what I've learned in that short amount of time is that young guy, young gal, old guy, old gal, at the end of the day, a lot of them just needed someone to talk to, right? Yeah. And talking about your feelings doesn't make you weak, right? What makes you weak is like staying still. And so one of my best mentors, he was like an Adonis, right? Physically fit, super confident. And at the end of the day, he goes, all right, what you have to do to maintain yourself, be you guy or gal, doesn't matter. You got to be able to move forward. Being stagnant is going to get you weak, and it's going to make you, eventually, if you stay still, you die.
Yeah,
you got to move. And that applies to all facets in life, be it military, be it working, comedy, doing podcasts.
I like that.
If you're stagnant, you're not going to do anything. So
keep moving.
Accepting the fact that you have something maybe not wrong, but something that's not perfect. And in this case for mental health, then you gotta announce it. You gotta announce it, you gotta accept it, and then you gotta move on from there. And so he would say, like, you have these really like, dumb military expressions, like, let's circle the wagons on this shit. But he would say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And when I first heard that, I was like, that's dumb. But it made the most sense. If I suffer in silence, I don't say anything, I'm not going to be able.
No one's gonna know.
You're not going to know.
Yeah,
One, you're not going to know. Two, no one else is going to help propel you forward. And that's the one thing that the military teaches you, right? Like you lose individualism so you can be a part of a cohesive unit to work together. And I can definitely carry on my burden by myself, but having people that enable me to be moving forward is much easier. You know? So, going back to my separation, I had a lot of high stresses. My blood pressure was the highest. They had to give me a blood pressure monitor. I was at 182 over 120.
Wow.
And that's like, you're like tunnel vision. You're about to have a fucking heart attack, right? And so I went in. They're like, hey, you got to start doing your separation shit. Get your shoulders checked out, get your back checked out, get your knees checked out, all this other shit. And I go in there, like, hey, can I see I have like this bilateral shoulder issue? They go, we don't care about that. Your blood pressure's off the fucking charts, right, dude? So you need to ask yourself, like, what the hell's going on here? So they looked at my record and they said, all right, you have all these stressors. Your blood pressure's super high. Eventually they get me to do my assessment for behavioral health. And I'm checking all the fucking marks and going, yeah, I hate myself. Yeah, I'm feeling suicidal. Yeah, I feel like a failure. Yeah, I feel like super stressed out. I can't do any fucking work. And eventually they gave me 3 behavioral health assessors. And each of them said the same thing. Yo, you can't suffer in silence, right?
Yeah.
Tell us everything that's going on. And then from there, if you want to be machismo and strong, you need to propel yourself forward by taking these treatments, right? And at no point I was like, it's super lame to fucking talk about your mental health. At that point, I was like, this isn't working. Me dealing with all this shit is now coming out with my inability to perform my job and be a good dad. So I go, all right, cool. I am not a doctor. You're a fucking doctor. You tell me what to do. I'll be like, cool. Easy.
I'll do it. Yeah, that's good.
I believe everything I hear on Reddit and whatever doctors say, as long as you have the proper credentials, and if it works.
Photoshopped his doctorate degree.
Yeah, you have like a tinfoil hat, just draw all these schematics on the wall. Mental health.
I feel like we could land. Someone could land into your living room and pretend they're an alien and like tell you what you got to do with your life and then like disappear and you'd be like, that was real.
I could talk about aliens for fucking ever. The craziest thing that you bring that up, I've never heard my father say the F word in my entire life. He was a sailor for 20 years.
Oh wow.
He works for the feds. He's gonna have like a triple pension or something. He's a workaholic, right?
Oh my god!
But he's very professional. My relationship with my dad was like very academic. At no point did he say never express your feelings, but he was kind of like let my son figure it out. And if you want to talk about politics or academia, whatever. So I wasn't really able to express myself, and so he always conducted himself as a stoic, very professional. I would say like a gentleman, right?
Okay.
The first time I hear my dad say the F word was yesterday, and we're talking about aliens.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
What do you say?
We were just talking about like, okay, this is a whole can of worms we're gonna have to open up here. We're talking about this concept called the Fermi paradox.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this?
Nope.
The Fermi paradox is an explanation of why we haven't seen aliens yet. Okay. And it goes down to a bunch of different categories. One, the universe is fucking big. so big in that even if there is life out there, the possibility of you running into them is very unlikely.
Right.
2, the universe is very old. So in the event that you have intelligent life, it's possible that they've already grown and already went extinct because life dies, right? 3, life does exist, and this is what we call like the dark forest theory. Life does exist, but in a dark forest where you have a bunch of predators, the first person to make contact gives away their position. The other predators know their position, and then they schwack them, they kill them. So there are other intelligent life forms out there, but they're staying quiet because they don't want any apex predator in the galaxy to go, okay, cool, that's where the resources are at.
Right. Yeah.
So Stephen Hawking, when they started sending out radio transmissions like 7 years ago, Stephen Hawking, before he's all beep boop, whatever, he's like, fuck, man, don't do that. That's a really dumb idea. And people are like, why? Because what if someone's fucking listening?
Yeah.
You know? And so the idea that like aliens are out there listening, oh, sweet, these idiots with water and all these precious minerals are out there, fucking sweet, mine. Yeah. So I'm talking.
What is that? A Cybertruck and a Tesla?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Sweet. Oh, that's cute. But then, so we're talking about this with my dad, and I'm like, do you think aliens exist? And my dad, being like an academic, he's like, I think it's highly probable, but very unlikely. But to assume that there is zero life beyond human intelligence would kind of be irresponsible.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want the humans to be the highest point of intelligence because then we're fucked.
We're idiots, dude.
Yeah. Finstas, bro.
People tried to vote for Hillary Clinton. Come on now.
Oh, man. What is it? You got to Pokemon Go to the polls. That's when she lost the election.
People were getting run over because they were playing Pokemon Go in the Bay Area and like standing in the streets.
Do you remember?
To catch Pokemon.
Were you on Ireland in 2016?
No, 17.
Okay.
The year after.
For me, that's when everything changed. Okay, other than 9/11.
Why?
Because 1, that's the year Harambe died. All right, they changed the fucking universe.
2,
that was the election where Hillary fucking lost. Bernie Sanders got fucking swept under the fucking leg. Judo kick. Anyway, so 2016, right? That summer specifically was like, I would say, the highest point of my young adult life in that you had maximum community. Out in Kaka'ako, you had all these food trucks and all these different vendors selling fucking battery packs, shrimp fucking plates, any kind of stuff, Pokemon themed food, whatever.
Ooh.
And you had a whole community of 1,000 fucking knuckleheads. I gotta get the Snorlax, dude. But everyone was so into the community, just everyone nerding out. You had people from all different age groups, kids, parents, all different creeds, walks of life, Republican, Democrat, and you see some people wearing fucking MAGA hats at the time, and like no one gave a shit. Because everyone just so invested. You know what? This augmented reality, we're playing Pokemon, and everyone just seems so innocent. And
right.
It was for me, that was probably my favorite summer.
Oh,
and I remember like going around. I was one of those knuckleheads like running in the streets. Like, yeah, I gotta get the fucking Gyarados. Look at that. Yo, it's shiny, fucking cool. But yeah, after that, I just went, and then COVID,
yeah.
And now China, and then fucking aliens, and then AI. So here we are.
COVID really changed Hawaii, I think. I feel like crime has gotten worse here. I mean, I can't speak for the rest of the world.
I'm not sure. I'd have to talk to the. I don't think it's safer. I do know. I don't know. I'm making an assumption here based off what one conversation with a cop in that the HPD is. I think they're short. I think 500 cops, and they're
very short.
It's like 25% of their fighting force. And I was talking to one guy. I was like, okay, I guess his district was for from Central all the way up to North Shore. I don't know what district that is because I'm not a cop. And I was like, how many guys do you guys got in that district? And he goes, dude, if I fucking told you, you'd be like, what? So I'm like, so 2? Like 3 dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
not enough, that's for sure.
And so now I know I heard that, before I tried to apply for the HPD before I went active duty. They had 2 academies a year. This is maybe like 10 years ago. And then now my buddy's saying, no, I think there's like 6 academies.
Damn.
So they're doing, I'm doing a plug with HPD.
Yeah.
Join now.
$25K bonus.
It's $25K bonus.
To them yesterday.
I think starting pay is $75,000, and they're doing 3 13s. So 3 13-hour shifts. I think one of them is 13 and a half hours, and you get 4 days off.
That's not bad.
Which, I mean, were you service industry before? Like bartender or server, any of that shit? Yeah.
I just go to restaurants.
Yeah, I just grind. Dudes buy me fucking drinks. Gals buy me drinks.
Yeah, I just show up and drag. Yeah. And get free drinks. Nah.
Luscious Luce. But yeah, cops, I think one of the bigger complaints is that, I guess, with the youth, when I was a teenager, skinny, little scrappy Filipino kid, you would get into a fight.
In the same skinny jeans.
The same ones. Still
from
crusty.
Mililani.
From Mililani. You get into a fight, and then it'd be, all right, what? And some dude always takes off their fucking shirt, and then the three Samoan friends show up, and they beat the shit out of you, and then they fucking make fun of you for like a month. But now, apparently, what my cop buddies are saying is that when the kids go out, when they scrap, like, what? You're like, bang! And they actually pull out a fucking gun. You're like, oh, shit! Like, all right, cool. And they're all ghost guns. So I guess all the kids are strapped. I don't fucking know.
Oh, ghost guns?
Yeah, like they 3D print like you can't 3D print a slide because you need a metal slide.
Oh,
but
right.
you'll take like the lower
like
part.
The lower receiver.
Yeah, like a lower receiver. Fucking, it's wild. So you can piecemeal it together.
The thing is, it's like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like when I was on the special reaction team, when we actually had beef with each other, like we would just do combatives and like you get the feeling of not accomplishment, but you get the feeling that like you resolved it because that emotion is out. Are you getting that when you just like you're supposed to fight someone, you just shoot them? Like I feel like that's, you know what I mean? Like not that definitely wouldn't. I'm not for that at all.
Like for a teenager,
like
I don't think they have the capacity to be like, let me talk about my feelings here. Let's scrap for a little bit, and then let's do an AAR, okay? And like, all right, things we did good, things we did bad. All right, I feel like you gave me too many cracks to my orbital. Yeah. You know the fucking. Yeah. I know you do jujitsu. You probably like fucking roll me to a pretzel, but like I did combatives fucking 6 years ago, and Army combatives is like whatever. Yeah. Did you do Army combatives? Yeah. I got to level 2 and I was like, I'm done. Because every day for 2 fucking weeks, hey, 5'5", 130 pounds with a wet t-shirt, go fight Private Johnson, who's 6'4". I'm like, cool, right.
I know. Yeah. And then you just get your ass kicked.
You just get your ass kicked.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
That's what I like about jiu-jitsu though. I feel like it's just humbling and like you learn and you learn more about yourself. But I'm just saying it's silly. Like I hope that's not really true that there's like all these kids with these guns.
I think I am just I'm doing the fear mongering thing because that always sells the news. I hope
I'm just fear mongering for your podcast.
For Reddit, get the likes.
I was like, I don't know if that's true.
I like facts, Harold.
He's like making a joke out of everything.
Yeah.
Look, if you're a kid out there and you got beef with somebody,
don't shoot them. Don't shoot them.
No, man, just I don't know. Just do what we did, just bully them like a normal person. God, don't just internet bully them. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't.
I'm not for bullying. That's not cool. I got bullied a lot. But whatever.
What was your worst? Can we talk about that? What was your worst bullying experience?
I would say probably when I went to Lalahua, I was on the softball team, and they would always the girls would always bully me and make fun and all that. And they had this saying, oh my God, I can't believe I'm even telling this on the podcast. So they would have this saying and they were like, oh, you so gay, like this saying, right? And they would all like laugh about it and repeat it over and over. And like the thing was, I was actually openly gay when I went to Lalahua. And even though like I didn't really give a shit, like in retrospect, them repeating it over and over and over and over when I was just trying to focus on like softball practice actually just started getting fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. Like who cares? You know what I mean? But they would do that and I was like, dude, whatever. And I remember my softball pitcher was always really rude and mean to me because like, you'd like hit the ball and we're like, yeah, everyone, yeah. And then everyone like would shake hands and she would like purposely never shake my hand. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then what's funny is like 15 years later, I find out that
she came out.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck you, dude.
She's
like
projecting.
You bullied the shit out of me and you were gay too. And I'm like, we could have been friends. Like, so it was
it that big of a, you're both on a softball team together.
Yeah. Like, is it that baffling?
You're gay. No, you're gay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Are we dating now? What's going on? You want to move in? Like, fuck. Okay. Scissor me timbers. Fuck.
You want to move in?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Is that a stereotype? I heard that was always a
No,
stereotype.
she like DM'd me one time and I was like, bro, fuck you. And I think I blocked her. I didn't even respond.
Would you? Because like for me when
She's not my type anyway.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I dated.
What is your type for gals?
Not
bullying and fucking sociopath.
Well, my type now is my girlfriend that I'm in love with. But
I'm sorry, I just threw under the bus.
Yeah, it's okay.
Please, what is your girlfriend like?
I used to like white girls, but I don't like them anymore. I just like my girlfriend now. She's great. Her name's Sonia.
Sonia?
Yeah.
Is she Russian?
She's not Russian.
Oh, okay. That's pretty
Russian.
white, but I don't know. All right.
No.
Where's
Yeah.
Sonia from? She local girl?
No, she's not. You couldn't tell though. But yeah, she's Italian. But yeah, she's from Vegas. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't really want to talk about her too much.
Yeah,
on
we
the
can
podcast
steer away from that.
'cause
That's
she'll get
crazy
mad
that
at
that
me.
girl was projecting, though, right? You know,
Yeah,
it's like the classic.
Isn't that hilarious?
Isn't that how you usually work with kids? Like when like the kid's bullying the other kid, they go, "That probably kid has a crush on you."
Right,
you know?
right. But I mean, in high school and everyone kind of did it, so it was like, but like, I noticed she was always like kind of rude to me, a little extra, and I was like, okay, like whatever. And I didn't really think too much of it, but yeah, I think that was the worst, one of the worsts, besides when I went to Milani. Yeah, I came out to one of my friends who was like my best friend at the time, and I didn't think like it would be that big of a deal, and I didn't think she would like judge me, but she ended up telling like half the fucking school at Milani, and so it gave me more of a reason to switch. So when I was actually in transition to switch anyway to go to Lalahua, and I ended up just being like, yep, I'm ready, because I was like dealing with that too.
Done.
And I was like, done deal, let's go be in a new environment. And Lalahua was a lot more chill. Like people were just not as stuck up, I think, and stuff. I don't know. I mean, Milani wasn't totally bad, but
We got a town center. Ooh, we're bougie. That's
yeah,
why.
we didn't have a town center, but we drank at the park. So
There you go, yeah.
close enough. Yeah. But anyway, we're pretty much out of time for the podcast. Is there anything else you wanted to mention before we head out?
Yeah, watch Lucy's podcast. We have this wonderful new backdrop. All right, Cosmic Bowling. Okay. I have a show on June 26th at
Ooh.
I think it's
June
Hawaiian
26th.
Brian's with Comedy U, and then July 26th in Kailua.
Oh, hell
So,
yeah. Where's that at?
I have to find. I think they're gonna get back to me on that one. So
Okay,
I'm just gonna
okay.
just drink in the parking lot and just riff.
Nice.
But yeah, check me out on Spotify. Handsome Harold dropping another single next month. What's My Age Again is available on all music streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, and your mom's house. So come on down.
Awesome. Thank you, Harold, for coming. And thank you guys so much for watching Lucy's Paradise Podcast.